Hi everybody, it's Nat from the Art of Intuition. And today we're going to talk about obsession. Obsession energy, clearing obsession energy, what triggers obsession energy. Should we be that concerned about what triggers it? Let's talk about how do we know when we're in obsessive energy. We'll talk about what triggers it in a minute. If you are in your head and you're in a loop and you cannot break out of it, you're in obsessive energy. You're clearing obsessive energy. You are working through the energy of a situation. Now, there's a couple of different ways we can get through clearing obsessive energy when we get stuck in our head and we can't get out of it. I will normally say it doesn't so much matter what triggered it, unless you want to get to the bottom of what it's about. And that kind of sounds a little counterintuitive, but usually the person that triggered it, it's not what it's about. That person triggered the obsession, but it's not about that person. It just triggered the obsession energy. Obsession energy is going to be rooted in fear. What is your fear? That's more of what you want to get into the bottom of instead of going through the victim energy of this person did this or this person, insert story here. It really doesn't matter. The question for me normally is, okay, what's the fear here? What is the fear? What is the biggest, scariest thing for me? Now we can set in the fear, go through the fear and say, okay, get to the point with that fear, whatever it is. If it happens, okay, even if that ultimate fear in this obsession is death, if that's what happens, then 3 seconds later, I'm not going to care. So, okay, what else? It can take a while to get there. And when we set through our biggest fears, that can be very uncomfortable. So that is one way to do it. If you get comfortable with the fear, and that kind of just, once you're comfortable with the fear, you dismiss the fear, then you'll find the obsession energy really has nothing to build on. Because obsession energy is always it's some fear around that. Getting to the root of the fear can clear the obsession energy. What's triggering it's not so much important. Now, there will be certain things that trigger it more than others. If you're going through liver cleanse, you could be triggering a lot of obsession energy. Liver is where you carry obsession energy. So if you're doing turmeric a lot, if you're doing, I'm trying to think of something else that will, I tend to think lemon juice will do it too, even though that's kind of that's more of a kidney cleanse, but that is a fear cleanse too. So they're kind of related. Bladder is fear, kidneys is fear, liver, anger. So if you're doing any sort of cleanses on your body and you're getting into this obsession energy, your body's trying to clear the emotional stuff, not just you're clearing it physically in a more physical sense. You're also going through the emotions and running through the programming of it. So look at that. And if you haven't been doing a cleanse and you're having a lot of this stuff, you might look at doing a cleanse to help you cleanse through it quicker. And whatever you would do is kind of going to be, up to you what resonates with you on that. But there's lots of different things you can do for liver cleanses. You have milk thistle, you have turmeric. A lot of turmeric will do it. Some people will do different coffee cleanses, and I'll leave it at that. You can Google that one. But I have seen that, though I haven't done that one. Now, so you can get to the root of the fear and work through the fear. That's a very direct way to go through it. If you want to just work with the obsession and clear the obsession energy first and not go to the root of the fear, which usually that's quicker, but sometimes we're not ready for that yet. And we don't really even know what that is yet. Sometimes we're so in our head with the obsession, we can't really see the root of the fear. We can't get that far yet. Close your eyes. It disconnects the mind. And take a couple deep breaths. Feel like you're getting centered. And just let the obsession energy dissipate. It will dissipate if you close your eyes because it'll get you out of your head. Going outside can help. Sometimes when you go outside, it'll just magnify it more because it's so distorted, you're trying to clear it more, but you can also utilize it as that. just know that the obsession energy is a very common energy that we will get through. And that's what gets us in our head more than anything else. But there is a root, there is a fear to that. So you can try to get more centered, get your mind off of it. Now, sometimes that's a better approach. You'll find you're going to do different things in different situations. And after a while, certain things that used to work for you won't work anymore, because our human programming, our ego programming will get smarter. So if you used to say, this usually helped me when I got in my head, when I was in an obsessive pattern, this would clear me out of it. Now it's not working anymore. You have to find something else to do. So sometimes helping other people, getting your mind off of it, laughing is also a liver cleanse. It'll also help clear some of your body out. That might work. Next time you do that, it might not work. So don't get too bogged down in what works and what doesn't work. Understand that you are clearing something, and that is trying to get your body to a different place. That's why you're in it. So if you're in it, you're trying to get your body to a different place, there is going to be a shifting of your reality at some point. That's the purpose of it. So if you can also shift to a place of excitement and think, gosh, this is finally clearing, even if you might feel like you did something to start the clearing, like you contacted a person you knew was just going to trigger obsession again, but you really felt like you needed to do it because you needed to clear the obsession, and that's obsession energy, and that's the person that was going to do it for you. Sometimes we kind of get ourselves into it and we felt very aligned in what we did, and then we start getting in our head again and go, wow, this felt aligned. Now it doesn't feel aligned anymore. It was aligned for the clearing. You got to it because you needed to clear it. Now we're clearing it, and then there might be another time when you get to the other side of the clearing and you're like, oh, I don't want to go through that again. Or people will say, oh, I went backwards. You know, I thought I was past this and now I'm back in this, clearing this again. You just go deeper into it. Every layer is deeper. Every time you think you're out of it, you're just in a deeper layer of it. We will clear forever, really. There's no really end to the clearing, though we do get tired of it at some point, so we feel like that's all we do. So it depends on where you're at with your clearing, how obsessive the thoughts are. If you can get your mind off of it and that feels more aligned right now, if you want to set in the fear and really go to the root of the fear. Because remember, all obsession energy, there's a fear there. There's something going on, there's a fear going on, and that's what's causing the obsession. It's really not about the other person. Always take the external thing out of it. It doesn't really matter. They were supposed to do it. They were supposed to help you clear it. They were supposed to trigger it for you so you could see it and start to clear it. If you're doing a lot of body work, you know, if you're doing a lot of massages, any type of body work, if this stuff is caught up in your body, all of a sudden you might start going through a lot of obsession in your head. You can't move off of it. Your body's trying to clear it. So another thing you can do is just say, okay, body, just release it. And you'll be surprised when you give your body permission to just let it go. That can also shift you. It doesn't have to be sometimes a big thing where I gotta burn a candle and write a letter or whatever it is. Not that that stuff might not work for you, but what worked in the past might not work now. So if that might have worked, those are to me more kind of superficial ways of doing it. They're kind of more mental ways of doing it. You get to certain parts in your parts of your consciousness where those things are kind of, they're clearing it they're still clearing it, but it's clearing it to a more superficial level. And if you want to really get to the meat of it, you get to some points where if it's something that keeps repeating, even though you're chipping away at it while it's repeating, you're going to get to a point where you got to get to the root of the fear on it. What's the fear? Obsession is fueled by a fear. What's the fear? Get okay with the fear. Okay, that happens. Well, you know what? I'm gonna be okay. Doesn't matter what it is. Even if it's death, 3 minutes later, I'm not gonna care. What difference does it make at that point anyway? So see what resonates with you, shift it, and keep practicing the art of intuition.